Hello everyone and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Gambit, where we're talking about how Knight ended up in the prison itself. You are aware of the incident involving Mr. Knight and the day before yesterday, I assume. He assaulted an innocent guard and stole his keys. Later, in the middle of moving a large animal cage, Mr. Saint stopped by Mr. Knight's cell for a little visit. Yeah. That's when Mr. Knight stole out of his cell using the keys he'd stolen. He slipped into the cage, and there he hid as he was wheeled to one of the prison workshops. She says that Mr. Knight stole the keys, but didn't he deny that?
Indeed, and if Knight didn't have them, then her entire theory falls apart. That could be the flaw I've been looking for. I should press her on the issue.
Alright.
Hold it!
Your Honor, about this incident.
You've heard about it, of course. Surely any attorney with assault would have his sources.
Yes, I'm aware of it, of course. I simply wish to confirm.
Cool. You are wasting both our time. Shall we continue? Ouch. And stole his keys.
Do you have any proof that Knight stole the keys?
I can think of no other reason for him to carry out such a brutal attack. Once the guard he assaulted regains consciousness, I am sure he will confirm our suspicions. I wouldn't be so sure. Perhaps I should press her further on this reasoning. Yeah, give me something.
Sorry, but I believe there's a flaw in your reasoning. If Knight had the keys, there was nothing to stop him from leaving whenever he wanted. Why wait for Mr. Saint? There was no need, surely.
He chose the option he deemed most likely to succeed. He stole the keys and hid them somewhere. Then waited for an opportune moment to present itself. Can you add that to his testimony? To your testimony? He hid the keys.
I'm afraid you might have made an uncharacteristic oversight, Your Honor. But Knight wasn't hiding any keys. That has been proven already.
And this is the piece of evidence that proves Knight didn't have the keys. What? Uh-oh. Let's go to... I don't think any of this is going to help. White floor. There are signs of blood was wiped. Not going to help there. Footage of a detention center holding cell showing a victim being attacked by a dark form. That's not going to help. Stolen from a guard's locker in the detention center corridor on March 26th. A guard was attacked and his keys, including the one Knight cell, were stolen. They have yet to be recovered. Right. So we would have gotten them already. Flooded entrance to detention center, prison proper, capable of detecting items made of metal. So if he had tried to leave with the keys, that would have been a problem. Tunnel prints. Photo of a tunnel between the prison and detention center. It seems to depict the paw prints of a dog. Alright, so I think I'm between these two. Either the guard's uniform was stolen, or the fact that we've yet to recover the keys. I don't know. I feel like this is building up to something. I feel like this, like the fact that they've yet to be recovered is like pretty clear. Yeah, there we go.
Since you know about the incident, I assume you must know this already, but after the assault, the guard searched both Knight and his cell and no keys were found. If the whereabouts of the keys cannot be proven, then neither can your theory.
I've considered the matter of the missing keys, and I do not think it such an issue. I still believe he had them. After all, the guards only stated that they were unable to locate them. And this is because they were cleverly hidden inside the pocket chest set.
Knight's chest set, the same set in which the murder weapon was also allegedly hidden.
Was it? I can't help but wonder about that. What? But you're the one who proposed it! Actually, if you recall, that was Eustace's assertion. So the two of them aren't of one mind on this, I take it. Allow me to restate the facts. Mr. Knight hid the keys he stole from the guard inside his chest set. I think we can disprove that. When Mr. Saint came to see him, Mr. Knight used the keys to open his cell and climbed inside the cage. He was then moved from his holding cell to that workshop in the prison proper, all with the help of his friend and accomplice. Had things gone according to plan, he would have been taken out of the facility after the show. But they did not. Instead, his accomplice murdered him while the show was taking place in the yard. Have we established motive? I don't remember that. I feel like that's kind of important.
But Mr. Saint was part of that performance. How would he even have had time to commit the murder?
Oh, crap. How indeed, allow me to explain. As you know, many stage performances will follow a set narrative. Yesterday's show was one such example. She's done her homework, I see. The suspect played the role of the antagonist opposite the elephantine heroine of the show. In the latter part of the performance, the heroine's love prevails and the villain is defeated. This victory is depicted in a very unique manner, whereby the villain is sent flying from the stage by the heroine. Okay. He's sent flying by the elephant? Hey, isn't that dangerous? Having been ejected from the stage in this manner, the villain no longer appears in the performance. In other words, the suspect did not appear on stage for a period of approximately 15 minutes. Crap.
You're saying the crime took place during that time?
Yes, I'm afraid so. After all, it's more than a sufficient window, wouldn't you say?
Committing the crime and returning to the stage in that short 15-minute window is only possible, assuming that the murder took place in the prison proper. But in fact, Your Honor, the real scene of the crime was Knight's cell.
Yep. I seem to remember telling you that I would not accept that part of the security footage into evidence. That's fine.
You won't have to, I have proof of a different kind.
Very well, would you be so good as to present it? What proof do you have that the murder took place in the victim's holding cell? Oh, the thing about the blood, where there's signs that blood was wiped from the floor of the victim's cell. The blood was confirmed to have been Knight's. Yeah.
Take that.
Bam. This appears to be a photograph of a floor. Almighty goddess of justice, grant me patience.
That floor you're so dismissive of, Your Honor, has traces of Knight's blood on it.
Whoa, alright, she's finally staggering a bit. Traces, you say? Is this evidence reliable? After all, I don't believe you have access to the necessary forensic operatives.
Objection.
Yeah, I know a guy.
I have my resources. A certain blunt instrument, you might say, but a reliable one.
The detective, how very unfortunate for him. Oh, he's gonna get his, he did a good job, and he's gonna get his salary cut anyway. Perhaps before you decide to circumvent the law, you might have considered that the committee's influence extends to the police. Oh no, now Gummy's badge is on the line too. Forgive me, detective, I didn't mean to put you at risk as well. I will enter the fact that Mr. Knight's blood was found in the holding cell into evidence. However...
Objection!
Bad luck, idiots. You're really on the edge now, Mr. Worthless.
Mr. Winter, I'd forgotten you were there.
It was nice while it lasted. I just butted in to tell you that your entire argument is one big inconsistency. You showed us camera footage of a dog killing Mr. Knight in a cell. Are you saying that the mutt also wiped the blood up before it left the scene? Uh-oh. What other tricks can it do, huh? A blood-wiping dog? You're a joke. You'd have wiped that blood up, wouldn't you, boy? Yes, Helmet, yes you would. What? That was one of the tricks I taught him before our work together was so rudely cut short. Rudely cut short by being put in jail for the crimes that you committed. He's a very tidy boy, you know, never misses a drop. It wouldn't do to leave any evidence, after all. Saved. By an assassin of all people. Why would he butt in with that? Jeez Louise, you could have just taught the little guy to shake hands. Oh, he does that marvelously too. Although the way I taught him to do it is somewhat unorthodox. First he bites down hard on the victim's hand, then... La 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 la, I'm not listening. I see. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. It seems you may have gathered some evidence worth considering.
Your understanding is much appreciated.
Wait, I'm not done yet. I just thought of something else. Overruled. No, boy. Somebody's taking no prisoners. Eustace, would you be so kind as to allow me? All yours, Gavel.
Well, do you accept the truth now? The crime took place in Knight's holding cell, and the assassin's dog was the killer.
My position is the same as it was yesterday. Until you can explain how the dog moved between the prison and the detention center, I cannot accept your theory into evidence. Wait, I have that.
I thought you might say that, which is why I'd like to show you something else. This piece of evidence shows how the dog could freely travel between the prison and the detention center.
Do I have... Where's... that thing. This is...
It's a secret passageway. It runs beneath the prison.
What? A secret passageway?
It was dug by one Rocco Carceredo, escapee. It leads from his prison cell to a certain holding cell in the detention center.
Okay, so that's why he didn't want to get involved. Okay, this is starting to come together now. Because otherwise he would have been assassinated.
Yes, the very one where the victim was being held.
Got her. Well, this is certainly a surprise to think it was beneath our feet this entire time. But why is he so calm about this? And why is he helping?
Mr. Canis, you knew of this tunnel, didn't you? Because it's the same tunnel that was used to carry out the murder.
In the name of the goddess of justice. Overruled, Mr. Edgeworth. You are out of line.
How so, Your Honor?
Evidence is everything, whether in a court of law or at the scene of an investigation. Isn't that your little catchphrase? Well, it just so happens I have some evidence of my own. Uh-oh. Bronco Knight's autopsy report. Crap.
His autopsy report.
When did we get that? How do you not know you had it? Police handed it to me only a short while ago. The findings are still preliminary, but it has something of value to tell us nonetheless. Goddess of Justice speaks to us through these pages, Mr. Edgeworth. Cause of death, stab wound to the throat. And the weapon is said to be a sharp blade of some sort, like a tooth. It seems the victim was stabbed repeatedly in the same spot, resulting in an ugly wound. As such, police have yet to identify the exact shape of the weapon. But its overall nature seems to be beyond question. It is a bladed metal instrument. Out of this evidence, do you truly wish to continue with your flight of fancy? Or you now claim that the dog used a knife instead? That one.
But that's impossible.
That will be all. This court is adjourned.
But the tunnel and the paw prints.
What of them? Helmet is something of a wanderer. Perhaps he just happened to cross this tunnel one day. Although I couldn't say for certain. I myself cannot wander quite so freely. That'd be quite a coincidence, but I can't prove it's not the case either. She sure knows how to keep a secret, huh? Kinda wish she'd kicked us in the teeth a little earlier with that. She was baiting me, waiting for the perfect moment to crush me with that autopsy report. And I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. You are lead attorney for the defense, correct, Mr. Fender? This is the interim autopsy report in question. I do apologize for the delay. Yeah, no sweat. Thanks for hooking us up. The interim report suggests that the cause of death was a stab wound to the neck, inflicted by a sharp blade. Death was instantaneous. Yep, this all checks out. Yep. Mr. Fender, a handshake is not necessary when receiving official court documents, you know. So please feel free to let go of my hand. It's not a holy relic, after all. I was just trying to be friendly, Your Honor. If you lingered a moment longer, the goddess of justice would have spoken to you through my gavel. Alright, I got it. Nice work, gavel. Just like we planned it. I did only as you instructed, Eustace, but thank you. This report came from the police. I have no choice but to accept its legitimacy. But if the dog didn't kill Knight, then that takes Canis out of the running. Goddess of Justice speaks to me, Mr. Edgeworth, and she is merciful. She tells me that you might yet keep your badge if you will finally abandon this fruitless quest. Well, what's our move, sir? I think she really means it this time.
What do you think, Detective? My answer remains the same, Judge Gavel. You will see my duty done, and I will not be intimidated.
With how things stand, you still refuse to concede. This may very well be your last chance. Your badge hangs by a thread.
Then let it fall if it must. I have something far more important to protect as an associate attorney. My client.
As if justice is not saddened by your refusal to accept yet another offer of mercy.
Attaboy, Miles. That's what I like to see. Looks like the defense never rests is really starting to mean something to you. Credit to your old man, though. He's the one who said it first.
My father?
In fact, I could swear I saw Gregory's spirit in you for a second there. You said that you've changed since your days in Von Karma's shadow. I didn't believe you at first, but I'm starting to.
Thank you, Fender.
Alright, kids. This is where the rubber really hits the road. Put your thinking caps on. It's make or break time. If it's true that Knight was offed with a bladed weapon, does our whole case really fall apart?
Bladed weapon? Of course! There were 5 chisels in Canis' cell when we last looked. A former assassin certainly wouldn't struggle to commit murder with a tool like that, in which case the weapon that killed Knight was... Have you quite finished? It would be in your best interest to concede...
Evidence is everything. It may well be my little catchphrase, but it's also true. So the murder weapon was a sharp blade, then where is it? The guards didn't find it.
Why can't you let this go? So what if they didn't find it? What are you driving at?
What if I were to tell you that I now know what the real murder weapon was? It was right under our noses this whole time. Indeed, it was one of Mr. Canis' chisels.
What?
Overruled.
I would advise you to stop bombarding us with your irresponsible half-baked theories, Mr. Edgeworth. You repeatedly insisted that Mr. Knight was killed in his cell by a dog.
I simply go where the evidence takes me, both in the courtroom and at the scene of a crime. If the murder weapon was in fact a chisel, then yes, the murderer could not have been the dog. But that begs the question of what exactly it was we saw in the security footage.
Oh yeah, the security footage. How do you explain that, Mr. Smarty Pants?
Excellent question. The footage shows
the dog killing somebody, the dog jumping on somebody, or somebody attacking the dog. It doesn't show... It definitely doesn't show somebody attacking the dog, but it doesn't necessarily show the murder. It just shows a dog jumping on someone. I guess that's what we go with.
Mr. Canis' dog jumping up at Knight. The dog attacked Knight, but he didn't kill the man.
He didn't.
No, Knight was merely knocked out. The dog didn't drag the corpse through the tunnel. He dragged it in alive. Oh, he dragged an alive but unconscious Knight. The real killer was the dog's master.
Oh, I get it. By bringing Knight here, Mr. Canis could finish the job.
And he could definitely use one of his chisels to do it.
No, correct. You, Bodhidharma Canis, you're the only one who could have done it.
Objection!
But why? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, you ever get this on your report card? Photo lens? Refuses to listen, must learn to respect others. Are you asking me or confessing to what's on yours? We already searched Mr. Canis' cell from top to bottom, right, Gavel? Yes, we even inspected his chisels, all 4 of them. There wasn't a single speck of blood.
Why, thank you, Your Honor. You have just confirmed my theory.
I have? What exactly do you mean?
The last time we were here, there were 5 chisels, not 4.
Oh yeah, I remember counting them. Definitely 5.
And the one that's missing is...
The small one, the one we thought might be a pocket chisel. Mr. Canis, where did you hide that chisel?
Pocket chisel? And what use might I have for such a thing? I'm rarely allowed to leave my cell. In which case, he shouldn't have had the chance to dispose of the weapon.
You dug your own grave, Mr. Canis.
You seem to have an idea what this missing chisel might be, Mr. Edgeworth. Would you enlighten us? For a man who can't leave his cell of his own volition, Canis could only have hidden the chisel here in his own cell.
Take that!
There we go.
Mr. Canis is still a prisoner despite the comfort he enjoys. He is rarely allowed out of his cell. He could have given the chisel to his dog to leave somewhere, but that would have been far from ideal. He'd have no way of guaranteeing where it might end up.
Intriguing. Do go on, Mr. Edgeworth.
Furthermore, this room is the one place where a plated instrument wouldn't raise an eyebrow. 4 chisels, 5 chisels, who's counting? The fact he took full advantage of.
Ah, the old keep the incriminating evidence close routine. A classic. But I looked. I searched the whole cell myself, and there's just nowhere he could have hidden it.
I'm certain that the murder weapon is here. That the reason why no one has found it yet is because it was hidden in such an ingenious manner.
Do enlighten us, Mr. Edgeworth. What was my ingenious plan? Think, Miles. There must be a hiding spot he could make use of. Think about when you came here previously. What are you missing? He's not showing us out permanently, right? Let's get out of here. Come on. The dog. He hasn't made a sound today. When we were here before, he barked and growled repeatedly. Canis even encouraged him to do so. That must be it. I knew something was off. I can hardly believe it, but I think I know where he hid the murder. How did he hide it? In the dog? Giving up already? I expected more of you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hold it!
As well you should, if you would give me a moment. For this piece of evidence shows where you hid the murder weapon.
Is it? Oh, he's got... I was gonna go to the dog's profile.
Take that!
Is he holding it in his mouth?
Your dog, he seems unusually quiet today.
Oh yeah, unlike last time when... Mr. Canis, if you'd be so kind as to open Helmet's mouth. Oh, come now, he hasn't barked because he's a well-behaved boy. I had to order him to last time.
Then order him again, this instant.
It's not like we're asking for the world, Mr. Canis. Do you have something to hide? If you insist. Come on, Helmet, don't open up.
There we have it, a chisel that was small. That small was easy to...
What? It was easy enough for a dog that size to... A chisel in the dog? Why is there a chisel in the dog? Yep, go ahead and take that. I thought he'd been strangely quiet. I guess his brain finally caught up. Eustace, why don't you be a good boy and call forensics? Tell them it's urgent. Okay.
Our findings are as follows. Traces of blood were detected on the chisel.
But what?
Not such a half-baked theory after all, was it?
Alright, so we're all on the same page here. This is our murder weapon, yeah?
Forensic evidence cannot be ignored. We have no choice but to concede that this is most likely the case. There's a small bell attached to it. Traces of blood hidden by Canis inside his dog's mouth. Mr. Canis, in light of this discovery of this murder weapon, court demands that you explain yourself.
We found the route your dog took out of the holding cell, and now we have the chisel. How do you propose to talk your way out of this one?
You never fail to entertain, Mr. Edgeworth. But why does he always laugh like that, even when it's not funny? Poor Helmet, how could they suspect us? You leave me little choice. I shall simply have to share with you the truth. I did not kill anyone. I have grown tired of killing. Something's not right. Why is he so calm? Very well. The court will hear Mr. Canis' testimony. You'd be so kind. Gladly. Alright, we'll go ahead and hear Canis' defense in the next episode. Alright, I'm not sure why he butted in a second ago, unless he's like trying to pull one over on us. We shall see. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.